We'd like to welcome Concordia University St. Paul. Concordia University, #1 in the nation by the AVCA, host of the tournament this season. Champions of the Central Region, representing the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference. This is Concordia's 7th consecutive and 7th overall NCAA tournament appearance. Tonight's win extends their NCAA Division II winning streak to 72 matches. They will face Cal State San Bernardino tomorrow night in the semifinals. Representing the Golden Bears, head coach Brady Starkey, and student athletes Megan Carlson, a sophomore from Andover, Minnesota, and Emily Palkert, a junior from Excelsior, Minnesota. Coach Starkey, will you please start us off with an opening statement about tonight's match?
Well, first, I'd just like to say congratulations to Indy on a great season. Very, very strong opponent. Kind of one of those teams that I really love because they play great defense. They run a fast offense. Very similar to us, except for their offense is even probably faster, but I just love how they scrap. Fantastic team. I think that in the third game was probably more of a indication of how their team normally plays, I think. So we kind of got lucky and got off to a hot start and got the first two games in quick. And then in the third game, you kind of saw what that team was like, I think. So hats off to their season and great season. So.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now open it up for questions for Coach Starkey and the student athletes. Again, please state your name and affiliation prior to your question.
Megan, talk about the block you guys had working tonight. Seemed fairly successful up front. What were you looking for? Did they do anything that surprised you?
I was actually, it's funny because I was kind of struggling to get outside at the beginning on blocks. That was my big focus after they continued to tell me that I needed to get my feet out to come in. So once I started doing that, it was actually successful. So it's kind of funny that coaches are right most of the time. So it's kind of what I went to, so it worked.
Most?
All the time.
Get it right. Get it right. Okay.
Brady, with the dearth of hitters you have, and talk about the ability your team has to, when you hit all over the place. Is it a matter of really deciding ahead of time where a team has weaknesses, or are your hitters able to just go and find holes?
Well, I think that what we end up seeing is you end up seeing people that scout us pretty good, and then they'll take something away, and then we make an adjustment. Or I should say, usually Maggie makes an adjustment, and we'll run somebody else different spots. So I think that's kind of one of the nice things that we have is we do have 5 kids that can terminate the ball. And those kids can run multiple different plays. And so she kind of really opens a door up for whatever she decides that she wants to do. I mean, we'll tell her, okay, all right, well, obviously they're taking this away. They're giving us this, so let's run this, basically. And that's kind of what we do. We try to make some mid-game adjustments by what a team is going to take away from us, if that makes sense. So. Yeah,
and I guess the other add-on I'd have to that is just watching your hitters, and you two can both talk about this as well, is the adjustments you make at times right at the last second. I mean, you guys are successful hitting cross court, hitting down lines, hitting deep. Talk about those things that you make those adjustments.
You want me to take it?
That's one thing we work on in practice a lot is if we have a kind of a strong, area that we hit in, maybe work on the weak side so that if a team does shut down our strong hitting angle, that we work on the other side so we can be prepared for that. And Maggie is a huge part of that. She kind of knows where a team's going to go and where they block, and so she'll set the person who's going to be open.
You want me to elaborate?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
For the coach, Judd Spicer, with the NCAA, a rematch with the San Bernardino. Previously it was a hypothetical conversation. Now it's going to happen tomorrow night. Are you expecting to see some different things than what you saw last year, or what do you anticipate to see from them?
Well, I think a lot the same. I think they're a lot like us. I think they have kids that can terminate the ball in a lot of different places. They have a phenomenal setter who gets their hitters in great position. They have really good, strong ball control. They have some pretty dominant things too. I think it should be a heck of a match. So I think there's a lot of similarities between us, I would say. So it should be interesting to see kind of, usually with those matches, it's kind of who wins the ball control defensive end, and hopefully that's us.
Emily, having played San Bernardino last year in such a huge match, I'm sure you guys have thought about playing them again. What's your guys' mindset? How
Well, we're excited as always. I mean, Final Four, it's a big deal. And they gave us a run for our money last year, so we're expecting them to do the same thing. And we know that we're going to have to bring our A game. But I think it's exciting to be able to play a team that you've beat before and to kind of show them that you can beat them again and really take the seed. But will be a good game.
Really, I guess the other thing, talk about your defense. Obviously, with Maggie's setting and all the hitters you had, you get a lot of recognition for what you do offensively. But your back row just really seems to do a phenomenal job. Slinger just every time she touches the ball seems to find Maggie in the middle of the net.
Well, I think that's kind of what we pride ourselves on. I mean, that's really kind of supposed to be our staple, is our defense. You know, I think that throughout the years that, you know, I think that I've been the head coach, we've really preached that that's going to be our motto. We're going to play great defense. With our teams of past, we've played phenomenal defense and haven't necessarily had, we've had great hitters, but not like hitters that can constantly terminate all the time. And so we've had to scrap for matches a lot more when my earlier years of coaching. Now it seems like we've kind of gotten some combination of some great defense along with some kids that can terminate the ball in all the different locations. So our defense is a thing that, like, you know, wins for us. And I think the great thing is that if our offense is off, you know, our defense can sometimes scrap matches out for us, or at least games out for us and stuff. So I know that 2 years ago, you know, we were not a really high hitting percentage team, but yet we ended up winning the national championship based solely on the fact that we played great defense. So we just never let a ball hit the floor, and that frustrates teams, and hopefully that's what we can do tomorrow. So although they got a couple kids, though, that can pretty much make it so that you're not going to dig them. So it'll be just roll the ball under the net and let's just try to side out.
Hit.
So good hit. Next play.
Megan, this is your first season with the team, and you've been one of the leading forces to the success that the team's had and to getting to this point. How does it feel to be able to contribute so much to a team like this?
It's awesome. I'm really glad I was able to come in and make an impact. I was hoping for that, but nothing's ever guaranteed when you come anywhere. So it's a lot of fun. The girls are a lot of fun. Everyone, we're always going 100%, so it's been a lot of fun to contribute, and it's just a lot of fun.
If you didn't get that, it's a lot
fun.
of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
How was it playing in front of your first real big crowd at home for Megan being the first year
Oh.
of Golden Bear?
It was cool. It was a lot of fun, too. So you can't say it's a lot of fun, but no, it's exciting. It's always fun to have a big crowd, and kind of pumps you up a little bit, too. You have both sides cheering. They all have a lot of fans. So it's nice to hopefully pull through and have your fans louder than the others.
More fans at Marshall?
Are there any final questions for Concordia University?